So hey guys, we are back with another video, and in this video we are going to talk about Qwen3, the latest LLM in development right now. So I think Qwen 2.5 was a breaking point in the company's breakthrough of all the LLMs that they have released previously, because we saw the multimodality power of Qwen, and we all acknowledge that okay, they have, from the very beginning, Qwen 1.5, I remember, was a really good model when it comes to multilinguality, and now they have stepped into another frontier of multimodality in through Qwen 2.5. But now Qwen 3, they're saying think deeper, act faster, and they actually achieve what they say. Now let's look at what they are introducing. They're introducing Qwen 3. The flagship model is Qwen 3 235 billion parameters, A22 billion. So from the name itself, I think we all get to know it's a MOE, right? With the specific number of 22, let's say, billion parameter active at a time. And when compared to other top tier models like DeepSeek R1, O3, it is performing really competitive, right? Now, if you look at the results here, it's getting on Arena at 95.6, which is better than Qwen 3 32 billion. Remember, it was a 32 billion parameter model and it was achieving 93.8 at that time. Now you see the top 5% difficult problems are the one which change the course of the whole model, because the other 90% are pretty easy to achieve, at least by these LLMs, but the top 10 percentile problems are the ones that change what a model is going to perform in future in production or as commercial for any company. Okay, now, if you look at the OpenAI O1, O3 Mini, everyone is performing really low. But Gemini 2.5 Pro, going three steps forward, 96.54 highest in the industry right now. Similarly, I think the live code bench, I think 70.7, which is greater than all the models. It's even better than Gemini right now. And Grok 3 beta, it's also a thinking model. Now on the Code Forces one, I think yeah, it's getting a ranking of 2056, which is better than most of the models right now. DeepSeek R1, OpenAI O1, and OpenAI O3 Mini, all are less than this. Even Gemini 2.5 Pro, which everyone says is a really good model in coding, is getting less, 2056. Every day we look at these models getting so good in coding and algorithmic thinking, and then I think that our lead code contest is going to be same or not, because now you can get a subscription and get a guardian badge so easily, right? So now coming to the next steps, I think in multilinguality, right? Multi F, the 30 billion parameter model, which is also MUE, the 3 billion is the fixed parameter which is going to be. It's getting 1974. Guys, a 30 billion model is achieving 1974 rating, right? And it's getting 91 on the Arena hard. Now remember one thing, Qwen 332 billion is a 93.8, and Qwen 330 billion A30534. It's a dense model, which is a MOE model. It's getting better. We are getting results. MOE is the best architecture in the whole case of LLM right now, right? Now, if you look at the models, layers, and everything, they have released 0.6 billion, 1.7. I am interested in this one. 0.6, I don't have a lot of hopes, because 0.6 is too less. 4 billion, I would say, is a mid size right now, because people are trying to bring down the parameter size and increase the accuracy. So 1.7 is the one which I was always interested in. So yeah, I've done some experiments. We are going to look at them. Now, looking at the key features, right, they are telling that these are hybrid thinking models. You have two modes, right? The thinking mode, in this, the model take time to reason step by step delivering. Not thinking, the model provides quick answer, near instant responses, right? So, so they are also saying, crucially, the integration of these two models enhances the model's ability to implement the stable and efficient thinking budget control. Now, this thinking budget control was first introduced by Gemini 2.5 Flash, right? Where they were allowing the users to, allow the model how much it needs to think, right? Now let's look at the thinking mode results. I think who was not expecting thinking mode to be performing far better than non-thinking mode? It's fine, right? So now the languages support is, guys, 119 languages. It's a very big number, right? When it comes to India, I can see almost all the languages in Dravidian. I think Tamil, Telugu, Kannada, Malayalam. Then you have Bhojpuri, Sindhi. Then you have Avdi, Chhattisgarhi. Okay, Maithili, Bengali, Punjabi, Hindi, Odia. Okay, I think everything is covered here. I don't see anything missing. Cool. When it comes to agentic work, yeah. So they are saying that we have optimized Qwen3 model for coding and agentic capability, and we have strengthened the support for MCP as well. Now this is interesting. I have been working on some, future project of regarding MCP. I would reveal to you guys once it's out. It's really interesting. And for the pre-training part, they say that you know in all the part they have done the architecture, right? The number of active billion parameter in Qwen 2.575 billion was 72, right? But the current is only 22 billion parameters. So this makes inference much cheaper and easier, right? Now, post training, this is the interesting part. I think the best part is that these companies are at least making some things not sort of open source, but okay, readable for people who are interested in at least knowing the high level overview. That okay, these were this model. We started a long chain of thought, full start. Then we did a reasoning reinforcement learning, and we added thinking mode fusion, then general reinforcement learning, and then we achieved these models. Then we use the base models to the strong to weak distillation for the smaller models, which is 30 billion, 14 billion, 8 billion. It's a good part, right? You train a very strong model, and then you use that model to use the technique of distillation for smaller models. It's a really good technique. I think nowadays a lot of companies are adopting. So I think develop with Qwen. I think yeah, advanced usages. I think it's fine. Agentic usages. They have given a lot of examples. And friends of Qwen. I think everyone who is contributing to open source and inference part is included here. Okay, let's look at some of this part of try this chat Qwen, right? Let's stay logged out. And how many are in strawberries? Okay, this is a typical question I think asked by every other person to the thinking model. So okay, the user asks how many are, so it breaks down the whole thing. Starting with first is not an R, next is T, no R, so it thinks a lot, and it comes up with 3 instances of letter R. That is, and it gives indexes 3, 8, and 9. Perfect, right? That's what we are expecting from these models. I remember, when we used to check out every single, I think we used to call it Bard, right? I think, yeah, Bard was the initial, right? Bard and GPT, we used to check these things. Now, coming to the 1.7 billion parameter mod, this is the Qwen3 family. You guys can go and check it out. You can even chat with it. I think there is a demo there. In the demo part, you can go and chat with it. Now, what I decided is I tried putting it in my collab, and I just tested it with a very simple prompt that your intelligence assistant with access to set of predefined functions, and I gave it a lot of few functions, the description, the open API specs, and the user prompt was book a dinner table for at Bulkhara in Delhi at 9 p.m. tonight. Okay. Now the thinking process was quite interesting, right? Okay, let's see the user wants to book a dinner table for 4 at Bulkhara. So first I need to check which function to use. So available functions it use. The user is about booking a table. So book table function seems relevant. Let me check the parameters for book function. Then it thinks the user specified Bulkhara, Delhi has 4 people, this. And so I can include tonight if needed. Okay. Now the best part is the date parameter is optional, but user mentioned tonight, so which is a relevant date. But so I should include date as tonight. Okay, but now I think when it comes to the people parameters 4, which is an integer, the time is 9 p.m. in the HH format, but 9 p.m. is a relative time. However, the function parameter expects a hour and minute, so maybe the user meant 9 p.m. but the exact time must be a 24-hour format. But the user wrote 9 p.m. so the time is 21, right? It is going to make it 21. Yeah. So maybe the function can handle relative. However, the function description says HR, so perhaps the user needs to specify exact date, blah blah blah. And finally, it will give it as 21. Okay. Here, if you say 21. So 9 p.m. the parameter this. It thinks a lot. Sometimes I was thinking it is thinking a lot, but what can you expect from a 1.7 billion parameter model, right? It's performing really good for in that case. So Bangalore city is Delhi, restaurant Bulkhara, people 4, time 9 at night 21. Okay. So the date is optional, but the user said tonight. Okay. So although I was expecting it to think like this, okay, the user has not mentioned the date, I will ask the user something like that, but it's fine. We should not expect a small model like that, Insta Smart, to talk so smartly, but the results were actually good. So this was the thinking part, and then the content comes, and the function looks accurate, right? At least go close to accurate, right? So yeah, this model's thinking process is good. I tried it with without thinking for the same thing, and I found almost the same results. So I'm still testing it with some complex functions to see how the thinking process and non-thinking process changes on the agentic part and function calling part to see how good the thinking is for that particular thing, right? So yeah guys, that was it for the video. I hope you guys learned about Qwen3, what exactly is Qwen3 and how powerful it is. And the best part is the weights are open source, so you guys can go and train the model, use it for inference, and play with it and let me know what you guys think about it. On the try Qwen chat, you can I think access the best models they have right now. I think for Qwen3 that is 235 billion and 30 billion, right? So and I think 32 billion one also. This is the dense one, right? So guys, that was it for the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you and have a nice day.